Well, actually, there might be people watching on my page from other parts of the world.
Oh, really?
It's not
Like what?
exclusive to Britain. I think I have a few from South Africa, from Thailand, certainly who have kind of liked this page. I think it kind of expands worldwide.
Awesome. Well, I love people from South Africa because, of course, I love the people all over the world, but the last 4 years, and I've been twice each year to host a retreat in South Africa, in Cape Town, in Joburg. It was all good.
Yeah. And of
Got
course,
really some friends there now. It's lovely.
and of course I joined you, didn't I? In November
You did.
2018? Yes.
2018, yes.
That was a good year, 2018. A lot happened in 2018.
It did, right? Cool.
Yeah. 2018 is when I really started doing the retreats, and they really started to kick off. And then you came on board with me, and we started running retreats together. I think our first one was January 2018.
Yeah.
And then we did May, and then January again, and then June, and then November.
Work together, darling.
Yeah, and we managed to fit one in January this year before the big lockdown started.
Yeah. Oh, we got that one.
Yeah, we did it. We got a retreat in 2020.
I know, it's so weird. I had my last workshop was on the 15th of March on Sunday afternoon here. Ended it at 5 o'clock, and at 5:30, 30 minutes later, everything was closed.
Wow.
And it's 15th of March, so it's about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we're on the 30th now, aren't we?
Yeah. In Britain, I think you're like a 1 week later, but of course my husband Carl is English, so we also watch the BBC and watch what is going on up there. And it's just bizarre times, right?
Totally.
So therefore I feel really cold, and I don't know how you do that, Vanessa. I really feel called to step up, and it's like I'm in this chair now, even more determined.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are stepping up at the moment. They really are. A lot of people who do like online stuff, and it's good. It's good. Yeah, there is a silver lining, definitely, to this. Yeah. Anyway, it's about, what time is it? It's about 2 minutes past.
Or 8:02.
So I've kind of put out there on a couple of my groups that we're going to be here at 8 o'clock. So we are here. Yay. Nobody's joined us yet, but that's okay. I'm sure, you might be watching this on replay. So great. Welcome. Whatever if you join us on live later or watch a replay, absolutely great. It's really good to have you here. So today we're just going to have a little chat, JJ and I, as we always do. Every time we meet, we just chat. And I'm going to ask JJ about his experience with managing depression using spirituality, yoga, and meditation. So I'm just going to hand it over to you, JJ, to just talk about that and, tell people about your journey.
All right. Well, my journey. I've been that little boy who always wanted to be a dancer. That was that was a calling. And I lived in a little town in the south of Holland, where back in the 70s and 80s, where a boy didn't dance, and if that was the case, then there was also another block, because dancing, you cannot make a living out of that. But the free spirit that I am was like, hell to the no, I feel called to do this. So about my first 20 years on this planet were all about fighting for my belief, my thing. And when I was 19, I got accepted at the Dutch Fame Academy in Amsterdam. So I did 4 years of ballet academy, and there was my dream, and I lived my purpose. Had a professional dance career for about 15 years, and then in the mid-30s, the internet rised up. Programs like Idols and all these things on television happened, and the industry changed. And of course, there were new 20-year-olds. There was a whole new generation coming up. And all of a sudden, I felt like I didn't fit anymore. But also, I was a very popular person in the gay nightlife in Amsterdam, and I didn't want to. I felt I needed something more deep or whatever. But I had no idea why. But I knew I had to change. So I quit my full-time professional dance career, and I also stopped going out. And the next phase was an identity crisis. I had no idea because I lost my identity. I lost my purpose. That was the main thing. So I kind of tipped into this negative spiral, and I couldn't get out of it. I got bitter. I was like, what is going on here? This is the fault of the internet. The people of those stupid programs are to blame. They messed with the professionals. And I really was so resistant to that change, and I got depressed. And because I was going out a lot, the only run away from all those feelings was drugs. So I ran into multiple addictions. I got addicted to cocaine and sleeping pills. And that lasted for, 6-7 years, I think. A couple of years, 5 years. And in those 5 years, I went really all the way down to rock bottom. And I got so depressed. I got, emotional thinking about this. But it's a dark place where in the mind, you have thoughts like, oh, you know what? Why am I on this planet? Why am I walking here? Why, if I run my car against this tree, I will do the whole world a favor, and I am relieved of this inner battle, and you get really into the dark side. But there was a moment when I got so scared, because I had this vision of my parents walking in on in my apartment because they didn't hear from me a long time, and they found my corpse there, and they've lost a son right before I was born. So I didn't want to inflict them the pain again, and this triggered something in me, and I finally was able to look at the other direction, and now energetically, I remember that I was walking hand in hand with fear, and fear walked me all the way to that dark side. And now on the other side, there was just a little light. It was a light far, far away, but that light gave me hope. It just gave me hope, and that hope triggered something in me. That is when actually my shift started. And because I really wanted to change, but I did not know how. So because I was, of course, so ashamed, I didn't want to tell this to anyone, and nobody knew. My best friends didn't know that I was having an addiction or having a depression, because I was always, the upbeat JJ on the outside. So there was so much shame in me. And the moment when I got that hope and that loving voice, a supporting voice that told me, it's all going to be good, and I understand why you're here. There was just so much love on that part, and it just, I was like a moth through a flame. I was drawn to it, and it took me like a year to even look at myself in the mirror and say, I like you, and then it took me another year to understand why I had to go through that depression. But it ignited something in me that made me do the work, because that is what you need to do. No one else can make you better. No one else can make you feel better. You need to find help. And that's what I did. I first got a little bit more courageous, that I wanted to speak to people. So I spoke to one friend, which I knew she's gonna understand it, and that helped. So slowly you're starting to release shame. You release those feelings, and then all of a sudden I was ready to get professional help, a therapy. But also I was called and drawn to meditation and yoga. And as a dancer, I quit my dancing, my full-time dancing things. So the next part was getting injuries, because that's normal when you're an athlete and you stop, you get injuries. So that's to me as well. And stretching became yoga, and yoga became meditation, and meditation became, together with that hope and prayer that I was already doing, that just made a whole, it became whole. And that was my foundation, where I was courageous enough to start to ask for help. So that was therapy and yoga and meditation. And now Vanessa wants to say something.
I do. Yeah, I'm like, I just want to ask you, for the benefit of people who are watching, because that's such an amazing journey that you've been on, and obviously you're on the other side of that now, but I just want to ask you to share a little bit more about the process of meditation, because people hear, yeah, meditation is good for depression, but it's like all the time I hear people struggling. Where do I start? How do I do this? What do I do? So I suppose I want to ask you that, really. How can people get started with meditation? What should they do?
Yeah, well, the first thing that you need to do is just do it, because your mind is on overheat. It probably can't stop it can't stop. That's why I had insomnia. Maybe that is also the reason why you don't sleep that well. So with meditation, it is not that you need to quiet your mind. It is not, especially not when you're just starting your recovery. Meditation is about doing and creating awareness of what is part of the moment. So if that means that you just sit down and you experience 2 minutes of silence, and that is hell on earth, that is the meditation. That is your observation. I am experiencing hell on earth, and my impulse wants to run away from it. That is the only thing. So when I started my meditation, I wasn't sitting down and I wasn't seeing clouds and just like thoughts, like clouds, just, flow them, scroll through them, or whatever you want, or focus on a mantra or whatever. I wasn't doing that in the beginning. In the beginning, I was just sitting down and be quiet for 2 minutes. That was it. And every day, that's what I did. And then I'm very creative. So after a while, I added sitting down and listening to a beautiful song and just going into an imagination. And always, in that imagination was always a positive thing. It was like running in a meadow, or just having fun with my friends, or just having a song. What is that song of Annie Lennox? No More I Love Yous. That song just did something to me. So I would just sit down, put No More I Love Yous in my earplugs, because if I have earplugs in, you're not distracted by other sounds. You just hear the music. and then no more I love you, close my eyes. And I was just going along with that fairy tale kind of music. And I was, that was 4 minutes of me time. So that's my advice. Don't think about meditation too much. You cannot do this wrong. And and particularly if there's a lot going on in your mind, just sit down and that's it. And schedule that every day.
So they can just start with just sitting and just, first of all, sitting in silence, and then sitting and perhaps thinking about some happy thoughts, or trying to bring into your mind some happy thoughts. But also they can use music and just extending that time gradually, that you're just sitting. And if it's hell on earth, stay with it. That's what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah. Whatever happens in those 2 minutes, observe it. And what helps, by the way, is after those 2 minutes, just write. If you have a journal or on your phone or whatever, just start a journal and just write what happened. Yes, because when you write it down, it becomes something, and this is what you need, especially when you this is what you need. Sorry.
That's great. I mean, I use journaling as when I work with people as well. So I think journaling is just fantastic. Just writing down your feelings. In fact, somebody called me the other day and they were like, "Oh, I'm in a panic. I don't feel right. I've woken up feeling that slump. I'm worried I'm going to slip back into that depression." And, I said to them, just go and write down your feelings. And they wrote them down, and then they called me back half an hour later and they said, actually, they felt a lot better just writing them down. So, I mean, the meditation combined with the writing your feelings down. Because I think for me, when I meditate, I'm able to get more in touch with what I'm really feeling. So, I can understand myself a little bit more.
Yeah, and I also want to clarify that your mind has expectations. So maybe you are setting, okay, I'm starting to meditate now, and after the third day of meditation, if I don't feel any results, well, then stop, then this is not for me. It doesn't work like that.
No.
You need to go beyond the mind, because the mind needs a rest. You need to go more into your body and develop more trust actually in what you already have, so that the mind can calm down. It's a paradox, I know. And especially if you're in a dark place, you cannot comprehend any of this. So the first thing that you need to do is just do it. If you really want to change, start by connecting with self. And I remember that after a couple of months even, doing it on a consistent base, just sitting down with my thoughts and observing it, after a couple of months, all of a sudden I realized, it's England. What the fuck am I talking to myself? What am I saying to myself? These are brutal thoughts, And this happened after 2 months, and that realization about, but I cannot be this person. This is not me. Why am I speaking such brutal thoughts to myself? That gave me a distance. That created distance between me and those brutal thoughts. And that was freedom.
Yeah.
And I can assure you, if you do it on a consistent base, you're real, because you're connecting more with self, and that brutal thoughts, that depression, there will become a distance between, and you can really put it even further away. And then there's another way opening up, which is all awesome, compassionate, and supportive. And this is basically what I experienced. But you need to start with you. You need to really create that moment.
So tell us a little bit more about how that kind of developed into yoga then, because obviously you're a yoga teacher as well. And I mean, on my retreats, the retreats that we run together, and I run some as well, with other yoga teachers, but I was absolute that yoga is the primary, not the primary, but it's a real massive part of recovery from addictions, anxiety, depression. You know, it really, really helps. It certainly helped me. So tell me about how you kind of picked that up, where that went with you and how you got to the yoga bit.
Well, because if you're depressed, you're very in your head, and you need to ground yourself. You need to, that's your body. Your body is here actually as a spacesuit covering that spirit that is you, and you need to work together. So yoga is a whole picture. It's not just the yoga postures, and it's not just the body workout. You know, when I found out that through your body, through cleansing, you kind of clear the energy in you, around you, then you become stronger, and then you're able to, you're becoming also mentally stronger. So you're able to, what's the word? To tame that ego voice, that mind voice, that fearful voice. So when I do yoga, each posture is like a metaphor of a situation in life. So if I do a warrior pose, which I absolutely loved, that warrior pose helped me recover, because I got insecure a lot. And even in the supermarket, when somebody was cutting in my line, and I was like, oh, okay, better not say something, because there might something, you know, she might put a fit on or hit me or whatever. I would take that home, that situation. I would lay in bed in the evening like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done this. But now I just pictured the warrior, and I was like, hell to the no. And I was said, hey, lady, back in line, because I was first. And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, and that was it. So warrior pose saved my moment in the supermarket there, because I grabbed my confidence back. And that is how I perceive yoga. Yoga on the mat is my me time moment. That is where I have my moments connecting with self. But when I'm off the mat, I take those experiences with me, so they help me to stay mentally strong. And that's what I need to not fall back into a depression, or not fall back into anxiety or whatever.
Yeah, I've really found that doing yoga in the morning really helps my mood throughout the rest of the day. And when I don't do it some days, okay, I get through the day, but I really feel, I notice that I don't have that stability. And I know other people as well have taken up yoga practice after coming on the retreats that we do, that they've started to do regular practice, and when they stop doing it, they kind of slip back, but it really helps them on a daily basis. It sets you up for the day. So yeah, you know, I think it's amazing. I don't know how it works, but it definitely works. And like you say, that warrior pose is such a one for confidence, and you know, just feeling strong, feeling, you know, like it's like that message that you give out. Yeah, you've got this. And it's like, yeah, I do the warrior pose, and it's like, yeah, I've got this, you know, I've got this day, everything's okay, everything's under control, it's going to be okay. And I think we just give ourselves that message through like the body as well, that there's something really reinforcing about that.
Yeah, and you know, coming back to depression, in the end, it is a mental disease, a dis-ease. And so the answer lies in creating you becoming mentally strong, and then it balances out, and you are able to choose authentically.
Yeah. So I'm getting really excited, because you and I are going to do a workshop, aren't we, on the 19th of April? We haven't really sort of got together and decided what we're going to do, but I was just thinking that we could actually do the warrior pose with everybody and show them, you know, how to do that or something like that. But yeah, so I think we're going to as well, we're going to try and do these not even going to try, we are going to do these. We're going to make a commitment to do these every Monday, as long as the lockdown continues.
Yeah, as the lockdown probably is going to be like that, but then I'm always off on the Monday morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I know over there in Holland, it's you've been told like the 7th of April you're going to find out if it's going to continue or
Yeah,
not.
probably tomorrow afternoon we're going to get another broadcast from the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
And he's going to tell us if if the yoga studios are still locked.
Yeah, yeah. So if they're not locked, then we're going to be here together at 8 o'clock every morning until the point where you need to go back to work and do your lovely yoga classes. So yeah, that's great. We'll do that. Thank you, JJ. Is there anything you want to say? I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel. So you can probably share it to yours as well. But do you want to say anything about what you're doing so that people can kind of connect with you a little bit more?
Well, at the moment, I'm offering a live stream meditation on my YouTube channel every morning at, I think it's 7 a.m. in England.
Yeah.
So it's about 10 to 15 minutes of a meditation every morning. It's totally free. And as Vanessa said, it's totally because you start your morning fresh and your cup is filled with energy, which is actually nice. I created quite some subscribers, so you can also subscribe to my channel. I will or Vanessa can put the link in the Facebook comments, so you can go there. And of course, I offer online coaching with meditation training, online yoga and meditation albums and programs, all that stuff. Yes. And of course, I host retreats, but at this moment it's going to be online retreats and workshops. Yay!
Yeah. Okay. So there's lots coming up, really, isn't there? And especially you and I working together as well. And yes,
I'm quite excited to do that workshop with you online, Vanessa.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's going to be fun. Yeah, I've already
it saves me that whole trip to England.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I've just done an online retreat and actually it went really well. So it works. You know, it definitely works.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Well. Say goodbye to everybody. Thank you for watching.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you so much for watching.
See you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. 8 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, so UK time, or 9 a.m. if you're in Europe or South Africa.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Are they on the same time now or not?
I've no idea. Okay. Well, let's just stick with 8 a.m. UK time, and then people can work it out from there.
Yeah, exactly. Find it out.
I'm no good at this time thing. Okay.
All right, sweeties.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.